Third in the division, huh? Who would have guessed?
Literally no one.
How did you do it?
What do you mean?
Like, what got you into the playoffs?
Oh, I won more games than I lost.
Right. I mean, what are you good at?
I'm sorry, I don't understand the question.
What part of your game are you better at than the majority of the league?
Yeah, I don't. Can you phrase it differently?
Dude, like, is your defense really good?
No, not really.
Okay, are your special teams good?
No, they're not. They're not good.
Then your offense must be great.
Oh no, with like the 5th worst offense in the league.
So then why are you in a playoff spot?
Oh, because we won more games than we lost.
Yes, I get that.
Dude, relax. Don't think so hard about it and just enjoy it.
No offense, but why would I enjoy it?
Oh, because it drives Penguins fans nuts. They hate it. Yeah, buddy.
Woo! Low quality fans of a high quality Bruins team. That is a dub against a team that I don't want to call desperate, because I don't think that's where the Capitals are at this point, but a team that is fighting for 2 points, maybe at a little more of a intensity that the Bruins would be bringing. You wouldn't be able to tell from this game, which was real sloppy for a good degree of it, but dang, that's a great win. It's a weird win. There's nitpicky stuff we could get into. We'll probably get into some of it, but that's a really good win. A gutsy overtime. It's a little frustrating that we weren't able to capitalize enough to prevent overtime, but I like it. I'm pretty happy with this. As you can tell, the voice is getting there. It's not quite there yet, but it's slowly recovering. I'm getting healthier by the day. Good stuff all around, and the Bruins get a dub. This is a good day. It's a good day. It's a good Saturday for us all. Like, comment, subscribe. Nailed it. Let's talk about this Capitals team a little bit, who are 6-4-0 in their last 10, but 6-2 in their last 8. They've shot past any of the other wildcard teams and look like they're poised to go past the Flyers as well, because nobody else seems to want to play in the playoffs underneath them. I mean, the Sabres, the Devils, the Islanders, the Red Wings have all stumbled, and the Flyers have all stumbled harshly towards the end of the season, whereas the Capitals just keep plugging along. And they're getting points, and they're winning games. There's a lot for Capitals fans to be happy about. Now, I wonder how confident Capitals fans are in this team, because they are a little weird. They are bottom half of the league in power play, where they rank 18th, penalty kill, where they rank 18th, goals allowed per game, where they rank 18th, and then goals scored per game, where they rank, you guessed it, 28th. That is not a team that you would expect to be in a playoff position. And you look at their goaltending, and Lindgren's been awesome, especially the second half of the year, but still doesn't really answer why they're in a playoff position. My assumption, because I couldn't find this in the few minutes before I jumped into the video, is that their record in 1-goal games is probably pretty solid, and they also probably fall on their face in their losses. The games they lose, I assume, are ugly, and the games they win are tightly fought, close games. That's the only way it really makes sense that your stats are this bad across the board, but you're still winning enough to be in a playoff position. This will be the second game against them this year for us. We did lose to them in February during a week where we had lackluster appearances against the Flames, the Capitals, and the Kraken, where we talked about how this team is expected to beat anybody with the effort they showed in those games. I think you remember that week. It was not Great. For us, the lines are going to get a real shakeup. So we're going to go back to the Marchand, Zacha, Pasternak on the top line, whatever. We know what we get from that. I don't love that line. I've been very vocal about that. Heinen, Coyle, Frederick is going to be your second line, meaning DeBrusk is now getting bumped down to the third with Geekie and Brazeau, and then Beecher, Boquist, Lauko. Lindholm, Mack, Grizz, Carlo, Shattenkirk, Peak, Swayman. Lot to unpack there. First of all, bumping Frederick back up with Coyle. I thought that Heinen, Coyle, Frederick line was good. We'll talk more about them. DeBrusk bumping down to the third is probably not what DeBrusk wants to see, but I can see why they wanted to try it, having kind of a heavier forechecker in Brazeau mixed in with DeBrusk. I know we like Freddie's forecheck game, but Brazeau's been such a dogged pursuer of pucks. I wonder if they're thinking with DeBrusk's speed that could work out for them. I like the experiment. I'd like to see it continue for a bit. And then Beecher, Boquist, Lauko, we've gotten a little used to. Lauko is continuing to teeter as that guy who's probably not going to stick once Maroon comes back. As for the defensive pairings, you'll notice that Lindholm, Mack, maybe they're trying to get Lindholm going a little bit, and boy, did he look better in this game. Grizz, Carlo, we've seen that in the past, and then Shatty, Peak. They're getting Shattenkirk back in just to keep him in game shape. I assume that's Shattenkirk, again, it plays like he's going to be your 7th D. Swayman, getting the start, is still trying to find his game after a rough couple of weeks. I'm totally fine with where he's at. Every goalie goes through these slumps, and this was another roller coaster for him. But let's talk about this game, shall we? Puck drops! And 30 seconds into the game, it's less than a minute in, and it's a misplay by McAvoy that leads to a 2-on-1. And Ovi, on the left side, is going to whip this low on Swayman, and Swayman's going to make the save. He gives up a big rebound. Okay, not the end of the world. Here's where I want to point something out. He gives up that rebound, notices it in front of him, takes a little move forward, hesitates, stops. McMichael runs through, grabs the puck, and flings it right by him. Lindholm is there and makes a goal line save, swiping it off the line there. Everything's fine. That's such a perfect encapsulation of where Swayman is right now. I put on Twitter that I thought that he's been having a tough time, and people were like, he was great in this game. He made some amazing saves. He locked in when he had to. None of that is wrong. None of that is wrong. What I'm saying is that his overall play, that you can't, it's not even about the goals he let in tonight, which I don't think are bad goals to let in. He is not following the puck as well. He's losing the puck frequently, honestly. And his rebound control hasn't been up to snuff. But the biggest thing is, he doesn't have the confidence to just do what he wants to do. He hesitates, he stops, he overthinks, and boy, does he play the puck poorly when he goes around the side of the net. But we all know that anyway. That's the kind of stuff where when he's on his game, that all improves because he's just making moves confidently, he's making decisions, and even if a decision bites him in the ass, he's still got that bulldog going for it kind of gameplay. And that's when he's at his best. And right now, those hesitations, those frustrations with seeing the puck and tracking it and keeping his rebounds in close, they're just not there right now. It's just not happening for him. And that's okay. There's still a little time to get his game right before the playoffs. Also, great play by Lindholm. Want to point that out. 3:36 in. Malenstein trips Zacha. We're going to go to the power play. It's a decent power play. No dice, but it's decent. And then we're just going to continue this 15 minutes of sloppy bullshit play. The Capitals are giving us the puck every chance they get. Especially Protus, or however you say his name. He's just handing us the puck over and over every time he tries to take the blue line. It's awesome. And the Bruins just can't seem to capitalize. And there's quite a few plays where that extra pass would have rather seen them just throw it on net. But it is what it is. 1:13 left of the period. This is a little lucky, but we've had a ton of pressure. And honestly, I feel like we deserved it at this point. Gets set up, Pasta gets in, passes to Zacha, we go low to high. We get in deep, we chuck it back to Lindholm at the left point. He's going to throw this on net. It looks like it takes a deflection somewhere along the way, and Lindgren just never sees it. Goes over his shoulder, it's 1-0, boom, bada bing. Perfect, right? That was Lindholm's second goal of the season. It was his first goal in 51 games. Man, that sucks to hear. I don't think Lindholm's been anywhere near as a lot of people are saying he's been. I really don't. But it does hurt when he just isn't having that same kind of offensive output. He's had a lot of defensive duties this year, more than last year, but man, you do miss the points that he used to bring. You really do. Either way, that's the whole period. It's 1-0. So that's your first period. Nothing special. Nothing really to get into. Second period starts, and 30 seconds in, it's a 3-on-1 for the Bruins as they look like they're going to start hot once again, and it gets broken up. Pasta tries to go across the slot. Too soft of pass. Defenseman is able to chip it away. Play's going to continue, and it's one of those moments where like, oh, you had this great chance, and then it's going to end up in the back of your net. Because a minute 20 in, a terrible line change by the Bruins. The Capitals have full control in their zone, but the defenseman is switching out. It's a long pass by Jensen to Scarbosa, which is just an awesome name. Just such a cool name. Anyway, a Scarbosa breakaway down the right side, and he's in the right circle, and he's just going to beat Swayman cleanly. Far blocker. Hell of a shot. Looks like I might get a little posted in. 1-1, and frustrated because the Caps are just in love with the fact that they're still in this game right now. The shot totals weren't gaudy. We weren't crushing them, but we had the puck so much more than they did. It was kind of insane. Luckily, we've got a player who's really trying to be in for game 1 of round 1 when Johnny Beecher, who a minute and 2 seconds later is dogging Strome on the blue line. And Strome is going to attempt a cross blue line pass. Beecher gets a foot on it, kicks it forward. It looks like Strome should be able to just swipe this away, and he makes a diving play to do so. But Beecher turns on the jets and just takes off. Breakaway on Lindgren. He is going to fake across the body. Lindgren's going to go with him, and he just slides it underneath him. It's 2-1. What a massive play for Beecher right now, who needs to continue focusing on my defense, opens up my speed, which opens up my offense. His defense is rock solid. He's just got to get better at picking his points to move forward with the puck. He's never going to be great in the offensive zone, but if his transition can be dangerous, that's good enough for me. He becomes a real viable bottom six center, which he might already be, honestly. 10:06 left. Heinen's going to go for slashing. We're going to do the penalty kill. We kill it. 7:38 left, so less than a minute after we killed that off. Shattenkirk should go for hooking. We don't kill it. With about 20 seconds left of this penalty kill, we can't get the puck. They're just moving it around. They're retrieving it too often. They get the puck down to Pacioretty, who's directly next to Swayman. I hate that this got through. I hate when this happens. Because Pacioretty just tries to pass it across the crease, and Swayman doesn't get a stick on it. Carlo goes right under him. He doesn't get a piece of it. It goes right to Carlson, who hammers this short side now. Now what's short side? It squeaks through. It looks like Swayman got a huge piece of it. Hardly his fault on this one. It's 2-2, though. Power play goal for them because we took back-to-back penalty kills. Most teams are going to make you pay for that. And we're going to go to the third period in a tied game. And the third period is damn near nothing. With 8:15 left, Faravari is going to go for high sticking. We're going to do the power play. It's 0 shots on net. But McAvoy does go bar and out, so that's okay. And then 4:04 left. There's a scary moment, which is another highlight for Swayman, or low light as you were, where it's a shot that gets in on him. He makes the save on Strome. It drops in front of him, and he loses the puck. And he does like a little 360 spin. Defense finds it, shoves it into his pad. He clamps it down. Great. He's just not tracking it like he wants to be. And this is just because of the standard that he set earlier in his career, earlier in the season. He's just not up to his standard. I don't understand why so many people give me as much backlash on that kind of conversation when it's kind of a compliment to be like, no, this just isn't normally who he is, you know? Anyway, so we're going to move on. It's 2-2. We're going into overtime. 58 seconds into overtime. Oshie's going to get high sticked by Lindholm. It's a bad high sticking. Like, he should not have swiped his stick across this guy's head. Obviously didn't mean to, but dumb play. I still think Lindholm's overall game was awesome. This game, in my mind, relentless optimism, but come on, it's 4 minutes because they called a double minor. I didn't see blood either. I know. I don't know. Whatever they called it as it was. 4 minutes of 4v3 in overtime. And the Capitals need this extra point. Maybe not need it to make the playoffs, but it would certainly make them sleep better at night. How did this game not end on this? And Andrew Peak, almost 3 minutes on the ice of this. Awesome. Coyle also came up huge for this one. Great penalty kill. A huge penalty kill. And we're going to go to the shootout. The shootout's going to highlight goals from DeBrusque, Strome, Pasternak, Milano, and Shattenkirk. I hate going shot by shot with the shootout. I don't know why I do that sometimes. It's very easy for you guys just to watch the shootout very quickly. There's highlights of it. And I don't know why I break those down because there's not a lot to actually break down for them. There is one thing I'll say, though. Pasternak's goal, where he did the whole tuck it behind him, throw it on net, went low blocker. Remember, Lindgren's left-handed, so it's the opposite of what you're thinking. He cares. I love those moments where you're like, God, it's just so lackadaisical the way he shoots. He does care because it squeezed through and he watched it. And as it crossed that line, he went, ba-boom! I just like that stuff. I don't know. I just like it. And that's a dub. That's a dub. Ends with Shattenkirk. They had one more chance with McMichael after, and Swayman makes a huge glove save. So dub. We stay 2 points ahead of the Panthers, although they still have a game in hand. Again, we're not that concerned with that. No matter who we face in the first round, it's gonna be a real battle. It's gonna be a real battle. Game notes, though. Swayman. We've talked about it a couple times in this video. I'm not crapping on the guy. There's still time for him to get his game right. It's just not right now, and I think it's mostly between the ears. And I think with goaltenders, a lot of times, that's what it is. It is a really high-pressure position to play. It's tough. It's a tough position. Really liked the Heinen-Coyle-Frederick line. I'd like to see more of that. I thought they were tremendous, and they dominated their shifts. So I'd like to see that continue. Lauko and Shattenkirk, as I mentioned, likely playing themselves out of the lineup. They aren't egregious. They weren't terrible. There was nothing like that. But they're just not bringing enough positives, and their negatives... The negatives are bad. Lauko's not great defensively, which we know. He also, when he's not doing well offensively, he's turning it over. He's chucking the puck right to them. And it's frustrating to watch. I like Lauko. I want Lauko to be successful. He's really looking like the 13th guy in my mind. Shattenkirk, good vet. He was brought on to be a 7th D, and it's working out that way. Just because Peak's been just really great. Peak's been great. Lindholm is hitting his stride, which is awesome to see. There's just a lot of positives on the back end right now. Something that we were really concerned about for a while there. For a while. This whole season, actually, we talked about the back end. But right now, they're looking really solid. But yeah, guys, that does it for me. Like, comment, subscribe. Nailed it once again. The next game is Tuesday. So we've got a little ways till then. I work tomorrow, but I'm off Tuesday. So should be some fun times there. Go Bees. Go Bees. Go Bees!